As gentlemen, Papa Boris here, piloting at a below-average Shaman deck. There's very little late game to this deck, and there's not a whole lot of removal either. I purposefully drafted a few less late game cards because of the aggro meta, but given how the games went in the previous video, where I lost against the Paladin who just beat me simply because he had lots of late game cards, and the Mage who I had to beat on fatigue and rely on the fact that she didn't have Flame Strike, I'm saying this deck actually, I'm thinking maybe this deck is like way below average, because it's not quite cheap enough to be aggro, but it's not nearly an endgame heavy enough to actually win a protracted battle. So I guess I overcompensated. I should have taken some of those Frost Elementals. Okay, well this is actually fine. I'll pass back the Wind Fury Harpy, but this is all totally fine and keepable. I don't think I want to coin out a Kobold Geomancer on turn 1. Well, maybe. No, I don't think I want to do that. I think I would rather just hold on to the coin. Well, hang on. If I coin it out, then I can play the Stormforged Axe on turn 2, and then on turn 3 I can make a totem. Yeah, we'll coin this out. It's a bit of a risk. If I see Forked Lightning later on and this thing has bitten the bucket, I'll really regret it. But given that a goodly number of 2-drops that my opponent could play here will die to my Stormforged Axe, I figure it was worth the risk. Alright, he has the claw. Well, that risk did not pay out at all. I should have kept it in my hand, because now I lost the coin, I've lost my spell damage. It was a risk, and it didn't work. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and just play Loot Hoarder here. My opponent can, of course, use Hero ability to kill it, but I'll draw a card, so it's, you know, I spent 2 mana when I had nothing better to do, and he spent 2 mana when he had nothing better to do. That seems fine. I've got both Wolf Riders, which is actually a little bit sad, because if there's nothing for them to ride into, I don't really want to play them and just have them die to the hero ability. And this game, because he killed my Kobold Geomancer and didn't play anything of his own to die to the Stormforged Axe, might be off to a bad start. Like, if this is like a traditional, you know, big beef type of druid, I'm going to be in big trouble here. Innervating for 2 creatures. Damn it! This is so frustrating. I can't kill anything with my axe. And I don't have my Kobold Geomancer. Can you imagine if I'd kept the Kobold Geomancer? How good this would be. I would just kill both. I'd probably just win the game. God damn it, I screwed up. I get to flip for a spell damage totem, but the 3/4 odds that then that will end up being a sucky decision. So we're just going to go ahead and play the Wolf Rider. We'll run him in. We'll do this. Draw a card. And, well, next turn we'll have a pretty big Twilight Drake. I was planning to actually play Stormforged Axe, but let's get the Twilight Drake out first. This will be a 4/6 in my books. And because he innervated and was the first player, he's actually a bit down on cards relative to me, which is nice. I got my Lightning Storm, again making me sad that I did not keep my Kobold Geomancer. That was a horrible mistake. We'll learn for the future, folks. Do not play a Kobold Geomancer. I mean, there's a very real risk of it dying. And when it dies, that's obviously no good. Okay, so do I actually acknowledge that as a threat, or do I just ignore it here? He's at full health. The Wolf Rider is not super great. Alright, here's what we'll do. Well, if he attacks into this, then Forked Lightning will finish off both of his creatures. In that case, I don't actually want to play the Stormforged Axe and kill that thing. It's tricky how that works. Well, okay, I think I'll flip a totem. I don't want to play the Warden just to have it die. We'll flip a totem, see what it is. Okay, that. Not the greatest. Damn. This is so bad. I mean, I could play Forked Lightning myself and just take this guy out. Or maybe... here's what I'll do. This is a bit risky, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Forked Lightning. And I'm actually going to swing by. So I'm going to sneak 4 damage through, and now he either has to, you know, lose this against the Twilight Drake or attack me, but then he's not getting to play as many creatures as I'm getting to play. He is going to go for the race. Well, that potentially was a bad gambit. Do I want to flip a totem here? Yeah, let's flip a totem. The 1/1. I was really hoping for a taunt or spell damage. I got neither. I don't want to use this out, do I? I have to do this. I have to just acknowledge that I screwed up. And... oh man, this game is just going to the dogs. I don't even know what's going on. But yeah, we didn't get off to a very good start. This deck isn't an aggro deck. It just has a lot of like 2 mana and 3 mana creatures. And that's not very effective, unfortunately, if your opponent's not doing aggro. Yep, here it comes. Oh god, this draft, I think I just messed up. I just overcompensated again. So that's not good. 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't even kill it with the Wolf Rider. 3. Let's flip a totem. Let's see what we got. Spell damage. Okay, so now this will deal 4 damage. 5, 6, 7. Whatever, we'll do it. I mean, just beating people down with 2 drops and 3 drops is a bit tough. Okay, well, we're in the end game, and it looks like this druid is not making any kind of allowances for aggro. He just played a normal old late game druid deck, so I could start to be in very serious trouble here. You know, I never saw any hexes in this draft. That's kind of what I feel like I'm really hurting on, is single target point and click removal. Okay, well, let's play the Cult Master and the Wolf Rider. That seems like a good use of my time. Let's kill off this thing. I'm a bit low on life, but I feel like 1 point of damage is worth it. He could now kill me with like a Starfire and a swipe, or you know, 2 swipes, or a Starfire, or 2 Starfires. You get the idea. Storm Enchantment. Yep. This guy's just playing a regular... Oh, man, this is so annoying. So, I play my old way, and then aggro crushes me. And then I try to, you know, play against aggro, and then, you know, what I learned the first time I had a learning moment in this game, which is that you need to play good cards, that crushes me. Well, let's play Lightning Storm, see what we can do here. Winning the coin flip would be very important. We win it, because it allows me to kill this off. Draw a card. Abusive Sergeant is not really relevant. What I'm going to do is actually play a Warden here, and the reason for that is I don't particularly want him hitting me with his hero ability. If he wants to burn me out, he'll have to use the swipe and a Starfall, a swipe and a Starfire, or 2 of those, or whatever. Uh-oh, that doesn't bode well. I think a swipe is incoming. Starfire, okay, well played. Ugh. God damn it. So, okay, so I tried playing around aggro, and I did that by taking some cheaper drops. Like I took, for example, an Earthen Ring Farseer over a Frost Elemental, which is something I would not have done in the olden days. And it's really not paying off. Because the 2 people that beat us were just playing, like, boring, normal, lots of good late-game card type of decks, and I feel like I could have been able to kill them, even though this was a mediocre draft, well below average. Only 1 Fire Elemental, only 1 Lightning Bolt, no hexes, and just not a lot of removal or good creatures in general. I could have potentially won one of those games if I had drafted my old style. So that sucks. I hope I see nothing but aggro decks from here on out, I guess, because that's going to be my best chance of winning. Okay, well, this is actually a great start, assuming my opponent is playing aggro. I will waste the Battlecry just to play him. It's vulnerable to a Mortal Coil, but I feel like that risk is smaller than the risk of, you know, losing because I didn't play that card when I had the chance. Yeah, man, should I just go back and just, like, stop? Should I just pretend aggro doesn't exist? Maybe I will. Maybe it's not so much like of a drafting thing as, like, a class selection thing. Like, as a priest, you know, if you're playing priest, you're really, really, really screwed, and you have to be careful how you draft. Because, you know, priests are just so bad against aggro. But if you're a shaman, you know, just go ahead and play the way you want to play, man. It's a bit sad that I have to throw away my creature and a Tick of the Axe to do it, but it's still fine because the Succubus threw away a card for him. So yeah, maybe as long as you're playing, like, maybe here's my tentative theory. I don't know if this is correct, but my tentative theory is that as long as you're playing a class which is not inherently horrific against aggro, you should just play the way that you normally play. Because as a shaman, like, what would I normally do? Take lots of removal, take some 2 and 3 drops, and then have a lot of endgame. That will actually be fine against most aggro, like Forked Lightning is an out against aggro. You know, Lightning Bolt, Rockbiter Weapon, didn't see any of those actually, Rockbiter Weapons. Those are, you know, outs against aggro, so it's like shamans just naturally, I wouldn't say are, you know, naturally good against aggro no matter what, but shamans are naturally resilient to balls to the walls aggro because the really good cards, the cards that are really good against aggro are cards that the shaman's going to be taking anyway. Jesus Christ, why isn't there anything that dies to my axe or to my shit? Well, I'll play that, and you know what? Screw it. I am not going to run my Wolf Rider and use the axe. Like, if he wants to do that, he can do it himself. I'm going to leave the threat of the Twilight Drake killing the Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Blood Imp. So annoying. I needed Forked Lightning there to clear out the Blood Imp. Well, we got 2 Wind Fury Harpies back-to-back, so if he keeps on doing nothing, which is pretty much what he's been doing this game, I might just be able to win on the back of these. That's a pretty good card. He's actually going to throw the Blood Imp into the Wolf Rider, which is not an unreasonable decision, to be sure, because it's going to make the Flesh Dingle get pretty large. In fact, after I'm done killing the Shield Master, the Ghoul will be enough to kill off the Harpy, which is very sad. Crap. Well, I should have killed it when I had the chance, I guess. Lightning Bolt! Yes! Okay, so even though that means not playing Wind Fury Harpy, I need to do this. So, make a totem. Swing. Oh my god, you know what? I made a misplay there, folks. I messed up. I should have actually flipped the totem first. The reason is I thought, well, Lightning Bolt deals 3 damage, so that's all I need to kill the Ghoul. But if I had flipped the spell damage totem as I did, and then played this guy, that would have been 5 damage on the Lightning Bolt. I could have actually killed this Engine Shield Master. So I definitely screwed up there by not flipping for a totem first. Clever move there by my opponent, making it so that the Summoning Portal damages whatever hits it. What I'm going to do here is this, and I am actually going to go ahead and kill this thing off. So the Stormforged Axe wasn't as great as I really feel like it could have been against a Warlock. But at the end of the day, we got 4 cards to 4, granted one is a totem, but I've already got the card on the board, so if he doesn't have removal for this, I mean, he's getting hit very, very, very hard. Damn it! Reckless Rocketeer, well, that's a terrible card, but it was good here. He got to kill off my threat. Let's see if he can do that a second time. So he had to use a very, very bad card there to kill off the Wind Fury Harpy, which tells me he didn't have any better way of getting rid of it. So let's see if he has anything better to deal with it right now. Summoning Portal, okay. Well, he gets to play a lot of creatures, as long as they're cheap, I suppose. Doomlord? Jesus Christ. Well, he had what he needed. Luckily, he's out of cards, which is interesting. So what I get to do now is actually play the Elemental. I get to do everything here. Totem. This will kill off the Doomlord. Sure. This isn't really overextending against Hellfire, because this will draw a card, and this guy actually survives the Hellfire. So he could potentially play 2 creatures here. A life tap, and then the Summoning Portal will let him play a couple of different things. Jesus Christ! Really? 2 of those? I actually don't have enough damage to kill this off. I only have 3 damage. Fucking... Jesus. So he got to cheat 2 of these cards into play. That kind of sucks. Mind Control Tech doesn't quite do enough juice. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a card first, because you should always draw cards first. Silverhand Knight. Well, that's actually really good. I need to temper my complaining here. I'm going to make a totem rather than play this, because with the Summoning Portal still alive and him getting life tap, there's actually a not too terrible chance that he'll life tap into a couple of creatures and I'll get to steal one. A 3rd Doom Guard? Are you kidding me? Jesus! You've got to be fucking kidding me. Oh, my lord. Well, what's interesting is that now I actually have a 75% chance of stealing something really good. The problem is that I'm just dead if I don't steal something good. So let's see what I get. Well, I got the weak one, which is a bit sad, but on the flip side, we can kill that thing. Sadly, because I stole the damaged one, this one is too healthy for me to heal, so I really just need to pray for a taunt. And I got it. That is a huge deal. I'm going to kill the Summoning Portal just in case. So hopefully he doesn't draw an answer to this taunt. Because if he does, then he'll get me down to 2 health, and then a lot of different things will kill me. So he's life tapping. He's drawing another card. Please. Actually, Hellfire would have put him in the game on the spot. Is that a Shadow Bolt? Yeah, makes sense. He's trying to preserve this 5/7. He's going to kill off the taunt and play the Raptor. Okay. I'll see what I get before we do anything else. If I had drawn a Wolf Rider, I actually would have won, because I have 9 damage. You know, if I hadn't hit the Summoning Portal with the Squire, I could get him down to 1 health. Let's first of all see what we flip. I could win a coin flip again, potentially, and get a taunt. I lost the coin flip this time. So that means I actually, well, let's play this, of course, and think about the situation. He currently has 5, 8, 9 damage on the board. That is a little bit disconcerting. I don't want to kill this thing because that would require me throwing away all 3 of my creatures. But what I will do is I'll kill that. And let's see, if I hit him like this, he's going to go to 8. And then if he ignores all my stuff, I'll be able to win. So I don't actually need the 3 damage right here. Let's go ahead and do this and pass the turn. So he needs a way of dealing 5 damage, which actually is kind of tricky. Power Overwhelming does 4, Soulfire does 4. So but being at 10 health means is that he actually needs 2 things. Or maybe like a 4th frickin' Doom Guard, I guess, would be another option. Uh-oh. It's a bit scary. Although if this card doesn't let him deal damage to me, he should have definitely life tapped first, because if he was going to play this, he should have definitely life tapped first. If this card here does not deal damage to me, then the damage I deal to him by blowing up the Abomination will actually make him lose. He now actually needs to kill my 4/4. Yeah, he's doing the right thing here, killing off the 4/4, because otherwise he would just lose the game on the spot. Right, god darn it. So, okay, if I run in with the 1/1 and the thing, he'll go down to 4 health. So the fact that I didn't swing at his face last time is causing me to lose right now, which is a little bit sad. Yeah, this is what we have to do. We just drew like the worst possible card we could have possibly drawn. So do I hit him down to 1? And leave him with the ability to get me down to 1 health? Well, let's see what totem we get, because if it's a taunt, I will totally do that. It is a taunt. Okay, I think this represents my best chance of winning. So basically, he needs a way of dealing 3 damage to me. So he needs a Power Overwhelming or a Soulfire, and if he doesn't, or a Wolf Rider, or something like that. If he doesn't get one of those, he can't life tap for it. Okay, so he didn't get that, but he did get taunt. So what is he doing? Why is he doing that? Why not kill the totem and hit me? What the heck did he just do? He killed my taunt totem with the 5 damage creature and then is attacking me with the 2 damage creature? That's definitely not right. Well, I might still lose the game because now he actually has a lot of damage on the board. This is 13 damage, so if I don't top deck an answer, I lose. Well, it's not exactly what I want, but at least it gives me a chance to top deck more answers. That's not gonna do it? Oh my god. I have so many outs. It's ridiculous. Thank you! Oh my lord. Well, to be fair, if I had lost that game, it would have been on me because I sacrificed 3 damage to not kill the Nox Engineer, and had I chosen to just deal the 3 damage, I would have won much easily. And as it is, I had to use all of my top decks from the Cult Master and all of my mana to squeeze out the win. So I was at 1 and 2, and I squeezed out the win. That's definitely not a reassuring spot to be at. Oh man, at this point I think every extra win is just kind of reducing the amount of shame that I will feel at the end of this arena. Because Shaman is my best class. I have like a 90% win rate. I don't think that's going to be 90% after this run though. The good times have definitely come to an end. So I'd have like a bunch of runs go to 9, 1 at 7, 1 at 4, and then this will be one that goes to 2, 3, or 4, I'm guessing. We'll see. Golly. Box the Priest. Okay. Well, that's a little bit disconcerting because if he's a priest, he's not good against aggro, and what that means is that he's potentially going to be good against my middling do-nothing deck. Alright, we'll keep this around. I might play it. I'm not going to use the coin to play it, but I might just play it in general. We'll see. What I'm hoping is that he plays stuff that I can use the Stormforged Axe on. Although a Northshire Cleric would just pretty much ruin my life. God damn it! Ah! Jesus Christ. Well, I don't have any good answers for this at all, until I guess I'll be using a Wolf Rider to kill it. Because the Stormforged Axe doesn't do it, and the Kobold Geomancer, of course, doesn't do it either. You have got to be kidding me. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, let's flip a totem. This is dangerous. If it's the 1/1, that really sucks. Okay, good. This is just so terrible. He had to have the Northshire Cleric shenanigans. Okay, well, hopefully there's nothing else for his mana. He doesn't. He could have actually healed my totem and drawn a card. I would have done that. I think that's worth it. We'll use the Wolf Rider to kill off one of the Northshire Clerics. This Twilight Drake is actually going to be quite gigantic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be a 4/8. Okay, we'll do it here. And the Stormforged Axe is something I will happily use against the Cult Master. If things stay the way they are, next turn is actually really good. Flame Tongue, buff us up to 6 damage, kill the Northstrike Cleric, Stormforged Axe, kill the Cult Master. Ooze, Ooze comes a little bit too late, or excuse me, a little bit too early, I should say. So that's good, hopefully he doesn't have any more of those. What's a bit sad is that he's going to get to kill off the Flame Tongue Totem with the Ooze, but I do not mind this. You know what I could do? I could actually, let me think, I could actually kill the Ooze to preserve the Flame Tongue Totem. I mean, what's the Northstrike Cleric doing in the meantime? Nothing. Yeah, we'll do that. It's a bit greedy, I would say, but I think it's okay. I think it's a reasonable decision. Stop, I mean, it preserves my creature.
Let me change your
It's gonna
mind.
steal it. Well, of course I regret it now. That's a bit funny. So, Stormforged Axe isn't good against anything that I have, or that he has. We'll go ahead and kill off the Flame Tongue. I'm a bit low on health is the issue. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, maybe I could have, I guess, used Defender of Argus, buffed this, and killed that Cabal Shadow Priest. That would have been smart. Yeah, that would have been pretty smart. There is no question about the smartness of that move. All right, we're gonna go for it here. We're gonna just play this mainly as a card advantage ploy. So what I'm hoping is that, you know, he hits me for 5 down to 12. Priests aren't the best at burning you out, so 12 is, you know, where I'll hope to stick around. And then this guy, I'm just gonna be using him as kind of, you know, card advantage to kill off more than one creature.
For the king.
That is a bit disconcerting. Yep, he's gonna ignore it, which is absolutely the correct decision, because he needs to race me now. Luckily for me, I have Defender of Argus, and even luckier for me, it is actually playable. Boop. So now I can kill... Let's actually do it this way. I'm going to kill this thing, and I'm going to kill that thing. So this is keeping all of my creatures above 2 health, so that Holy Nova doesn't kill them. So Mind Control, oh, it also damages them both, so that if he Mind Controls one, I can easily kill it with the other. And that will be his whole turn, so I wouldn't really mind it as much. I might still be able to pull this out. 10 health is obviously not great. I mean, you could just draw 2 Holy Fires and win. I'll feel a lot better if I see my Earthen Ring Farseer for that healing. Okay, well, this is actually pretty straightforward, so we're just going to do this. And I could kill this off by using the axe, taking 1 more point of damage. Is that worth it? Nope, I'm gonna swing by. I'm gonna let him draw cards. Gonna do this, and yeah, we'll just flip a totem. Seems good. So I actually have a pretty tremendous amount of damage potential here. This is 5 plus 8 is 13, 14 damage. So he has an Earthen Ring of Farseer. I can actually deal 17 damage. Unfortunately, I didn't really damage him at all earlier in the game. So now I have to be a little bit careful because, I mean, if he busts through this, which he can now, that'll be a lot of damage coming at me all of a sudden. I didn't draw any of my removal, which is not too surprising because I have none. Okay, we'll use the Wolf Rider. And I think I'll use it just to kill the Farseer. That seems pretty reasonable. The Twilight Drake will kill this. I think that's just quite reasonable as well. We'll play a second Wind Fury Harpy. And we'll swing for a lot. Okay, so next turn I actually... Well, I don't have the kill if he heals himself, because this is 8, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage, but he can obviously kill off the 1/1. So I will get him down to 1 health next turn. He's going to do that and draw a card, which is fine.
Bring me steel.
That is really irrelevant. That is irrelevant.
Speak to me.
So the question is, do I let him hit me with all this stuff? Wild Pyromancer is actually terrible. I could use the coin, but it doesn't do anything for me here. Let's go ahead and hedge my bets, which is something I'm so fond of doing. We're going to take the time to kill off the creatures, and then we're going to swing for the rest of the damage. I'll flip a totem. I'm hoping it's a taunt. That would make a really big difference. It isn't, sadly. But we'll also play this for some more stuff, and this just to have a thing ready in case he has a threat. So, what's the likelihood a priest can deal 8 damage to me? Not super high. It'd need to be like a holy fire. Oh my god, I forgot about that. He just drew 2 extra cards because I damaged both of my harpies. What I should have done is attacked with 1 twice and just had it heal up once. That way he only would have drawn 1 card. That was a bit of a misplay. So he's got a Holy Nova. That damages me a little bit. Still not quite enough to kill me. So he did the poor man's Flame Strike here. And he gets to live now because, yeah, I can only deal 8 damage to him. So let's go ahead and play this, I think. That seems legit to protect my Wind Fury Harpy. And I'm just gonna, now that he played 2 Holy Novas, what are the odds he has more, right? We're just gonna play everything out to put as much threat as possible on the board so that single target removal won't be good enough. Unfortunately now, Holy Fire plus Holy Smite will win him the game. Shadow Word Pain, okay, Holy Fire wins him the game with that as well, because he can now swing for 2 and then burn me out with the Holy Fire. Mad Bomber, that's an interesting gambit. Please don't hit me. Okay, well it didn't hit me, although the fact that I killed the Wind Fury Harpy is a bit depressing. Okay, so we have a 3 different creatures that can kill him. Does he have a Holy Fire? I guess not. He wouldn't have played the Mad Bomber if he had a Holy Fire, right? Whew, okay, another squeezed out win, just barely. And you know, the reason that we won is because we had endgame creatures. I mean, the thing that won it for us was the Ventricle Mercenary, catching up in the middle, and then the Wind Fury Harpies just being phenomenal at the end. So it's like, imagine if I had a Frost Elemental in here and some other endgame beef. It would just be very, very nice. So yeah, I think that might be my insight. That is my new, shall we say, working theory. Could be wrong, but my working opinion at the moment is that if you play with a class that is inherently, let's say, resistant to aggro, then you don't need to change the way that you draft. But if you play a class that's not inherently resistant to aggro, then you do need to change the way that you draft. Thingolfin. I don't remember what the other priest's name was. I can't tell if this is the same or a different one. This is actually a fine starting hand. You know, we'll pass him back. We'll use him later. I've got a drop, and then the Lightning Storm in case he starts to overrun me with some priest aggro. Well, I survived actually like a double. I survived like a Northshire Cleric, Divine Spirit, and double Northshire Cleric opening against that priest, so I'm quite proud. Please don't play Northshire Cleric. Please don't play Northshire Cleric. Thank you, because Northshire Cleric makes the Loot Hoarder unplayable. Got a good 3-drop here, which is nice. This might be good for some card advantage if what he was holding in his hand was a 3-2. He's gonna heal me up.
I thank you.
That's like the lamest joke ever. I'm kind of mad at myself for making it. Alright, well, he's off to a pretty slow start if he doesn't play anything this turn. Then again, I'm not off to like a blazing start either. So he's using up a Shattered Sun Cleric, which is very reasonable. I could, of course, just kill it with my creatures. I think I'm going to use the Wolf Rider, though. The reason is I want to play this on turn 5. So I don't want to use a Lightning Bolt because that will make me overloaded. Now, of course, had I played the Lightning Bolt and the Wolf Rider, that would have been like an aggro maneuver. I would have hit him for an extra 3 damage. And then I wouldn't be quite as exposed to Shadow Word Death. So, I don't know, it's a trade-off. Definitely a trade-off there. And for Grizzly, well... Ah, he's a Power Word Shield for it. Shit. I'll have to use the Loot Hoarder then to bust through this. And I am going to do that. Or am I? Why not just play a Ventricle Mercenary and pass the turn? Yeah, we'll do that. This seems fine. So we'll see if I mean, Shadow Word Death is 3 mana, so it's good, obviously, but it is, you know, 3/5 of his turn. Given that he had nothing on turn 1 or turn 2, it's likely that he wouldn't have anything else to do on the turn then if he uses Shadow Word Death to kill this thing. And, I mean, next turn, I can cash in the Loot Hoarder, use Lightning Bolt, and swing for 7, so I'll be threatening to win. It's Shadow Word Death or bust here, I think. Ah, he doesn't have the Shadow Word Death. That's good news. This is, with the help of a Dark Iron Dwarf or a Holy Smite, it will take this thing out, but it's not the ideal answer. Okay. Well, I could actually Lightning Storm, which is... What that enables me to do is kill off the Panther and make this guy more likely to survive. There's also a coin flip chance that this will actually kill off the bear with the help of the Loot Hoarder. I'm going to go for it. I think that's the right decision. I didn't get spell damage, so coin flip whether the Loot Hoarder will be sufficient to kill off that bear. I lose the coin flip, so I have to run this in now. And I will go ahead and cash in my Harvest Golem. It deals the same damage either way. And we're going to swing for 7. So the reason I'm doing this is because I feel like I am the aggro in this matchup just because of how slow his start was and him being a priest. And since my deck isn't super strong, I need to try to get 7 damage in wherever I can. So if he didn't have Shadow Word Death last turn, then he, unless he top decked it of course, isn't going to have it this turn, and this could just go the distance. I'm overloaded, so I'm going to have 5 mana. That's not enough to play any of my creatures, but it is enough to make a totem and potentially remove something of his. We'll see what happens. Technically, if he has no removal here, I will actually swing for 10 damage, which is a lot. Well, that's a pretty good card for him. It saves him 7 damage, and it brings this down to the point where it'll almost die. Okay, well, no need for Lightning Bolt here. Let's just go ahead and flip a totem. That's always nice to have, I think. Still getting 3 damage through, which is pretty good. And again, he's kind of in the same sort of awkward situation where he really needs to kill this thing. And he clearly does not have good answers for it. Now next turn I'm going to have all my mana. I'll have 8 mana. Not enough to play the Fire Elemental, but it is enough to play the Earthen Ring Farseer. Now the Earthen Ring Farseer to heal this is a bit of a double-edged sword, because if my opponent then has Mind Control, I won't want this to have been healed.
I've got the beast.
Ah, he's got the Big Game Hunter. That was a pretty good draft for him. Do I use the Fire Elemental to kill that? I don't think so. I think what I want to do is use a Dwarf. That's actually a bit scary. Well, okay, this is pretty easy. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna use the Dark Iron Dwarf. Let's actually do it this way, because this is the more dangerous creature at the moment. We're gonna get a card there. Pyromancer, that's nifty. I think I'd actually rather have a card than the Searing Totem. Actually, no, I actually wouldn't. That's not gonna do. I would rather have the Searing Totem than the card. Now, if he plays Mind Control tech, I'm gonna be hella pissed. But at the moment, things are looking pretty good. Barring removal, he has to kill this totem with this Big Game Hunter, and then the Cult Master draws me a card. And if I can just hit him down a little bit more, I mean, I've got 6 points of burn in my hand, so I need to only deal like, well, assuming he heals himself, 11 points of damage. Which these two, if they're allowed to attack this turn, will do quite nicely. Holy Nova would still be a really good card for him because it would kill off the Cult Master, both my totems. I will then regret not having gotten a card from this when I had the chance. Holy Fire, wow, well that's a lot. So the main thing about that was the healing, but that was pretty much his entire turn. So I'm okay with that turn of events. He's going to attack and I guess heal up some more. Okay, well now he's at a greater distance. I can't burn him out anytime soon anymore. Leper Gnome. Okay, what we'll do here is the following. I'm going to play Wolf Rider, and I'm going to use it to kill the Big Game Hunter. I don't want to use the Fire Elemental on it. That seems like a waste. What I'm going to do then is play the Cobra so that if he has a big threat or if he Mind Controls something of mine later, I can kill it. And I don't really want to waste the Earthen Ring Farseer, so we'll play the Pyromancer and the Leper Gnome. So it's overextending a little bit against Holy Nova. These two will both die, but this thing will still deal damage, so it'll have some value. And these two creatures, which are the really important ones here, those are the ones that are going to survive. Okay, so we're back to where we were a couple turns ago. He's at 17 health. I've got 6 points of burn in my hand. So, assuming he heals up to 19, I would need to deal 13 damage to him. And I've got 4, 5, 7, 10, 12, so it's actually quite a lot. It's a couple of turns away here if he doesn't have a really good answer to my stuff. No good Mind Control targets whatsoever, which is nice. My Cult Master is dead, which is sad, but it did eat a Holy Fire, which is kind of awesome. Obviously, Holy Smite would have done the same thing for 5 less mana. Granted, without the heal, but still. So he's going to silence that. That does suggest he has something that he wants to play. Temple Enforcer. Well, fair move. Now I either double a 2 for 1 into this, or I leave it alone. I think I'm going to leave it alone and just try to overrun him. He didn't heal himself this turn, so I'm going to get him down really, really low. Wait, do I win 7, 11, 12? I actually do, if this coin isn't to heal himself, ah, damn it, Shadow Word Pain. Crap. So if he hadn't done that, I actually would have won this turn. It would have been 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then I had 6 points of damage here. Crap. Well, I am going to go for the race, though. I think that's the right move. Yep, I'm 1 point of damage away from being able to kill him. So what we're going to do is do this. Make a totem. Taunt is nice. And I'm actually going to play this. I'm going to totally waste the battle cry, but what I'm doing here is just putting as much as I can on the board because I only have to deal 2 damage to him to win. And in fact, well, he's going to heal himself. So I need to, this Leper Gnome is good for 2 damage, then this is 5, and this is 8. So I need to just deal 2 damage to him, so the more stuff I have on the board, the better. There have been a couple of games where I didn't lose, but where I won a turn later than I should have because I kept creatures back in my hand for no real reason. And as a result of that, I didn't have, you know, quite enough damage to win when I was supposed to win. So he gets a nice brick wall in the way of my dreams, and he gets to kill this in one fell swoop, but I have this taunt totem here as well, so let's see, I might actually be able to win this turn, I think, because he didn't heal himself. He didn't heal himself, so I get to burn him out. That's nice. Okay, so what we'll do here is very simple. We'll just kill the Leper Gnome for 2 damage, play the Fire Elemental for 3, and the Lightning Bolt for 3 more. So I'd say that was actually probably the strongest win I've had so far. And by strongest, I mean felt the least like I was going to lose at any given moment. It helps that he had a slow start and that I drew some of my good cards. And especially my removal was very helpful there. Okay, we're up to, what is that, 4 wins? It's good. That's definitely, I'd say 4 wins. You shouldn't be ashamed if you get to 4. Like, 4 wins is like, well, that was alright. Like, I'm not the greatest in the world, but that was okay. That was a decent run. 5 wins would be very, very nice, though. I feel like my chances against Paladins are bad. Just because I don't have a good way to deal with the recruits. Okay, well, I'm going to send back this. I'm going to keep the Dark Iron Dwarf and the Wolf Rider. It's a bit speculative, I know. But we haven't seen aggro today. So hopefully, this is going to be a nice normal control deck, or, you know, mid-range deck. In which case, I want this buff, and because my totems are going to have a decent chance of surviving. Now, I'm not going to play the Abusive Sergeant here because the Battle Cry is actually quite relevant, and also he just dies to recruits. I don't really have any way to protect him from that fate.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, I can make a totem here, but I'm actually going to get a little bit aggressive. I'm going to go ahead and coin out the Undead Elemental. So here, what I'm hoping is he doesn't have any Blessing of Might. That would just be absolutely devastating if he did. But as long as he doesn't have that, this guy can mop up the recruit, and oh please God. Well, I never saw any Earth Shocks, so I don't have a good answer to this. Forked Lightning would be perfect. I don't have it though. Well, here's what we're gonna have to do. I think we just need to make a totem and pray it's a taunter. Oh wow, it actually happened. And I'll play Leper Gnome here. So thanks to the taunt, which is a very, very nice flip, my light Unbound Elemental is protected, theoretically. Obviously Hammer of Wrath or True Silver Champion or whatever would kill it off. But then I can pop the Leper Gnome onto the Scarlet Crusader, is the plan. Consecration. Ah, that's another way of doing it, I suppose. So she'll pop the Divine Shield to kill it off, and that was his whole turn. Well, actually, Mortgage Warden is a pretty good answer to Scarlet Crusader without a Divine Shield, so we'll throw that down. If he plays a Stampeding Kodo, I'm going to flip a bitch, that's for sure. But other than that, we've got a pretty decent mid-game. We got this and this, and we should be able to be okay here. Okay, well, let's do this. That's an easy decision. It'll now die to the Twilight Drake, but what I could is I could actually play a Dark Iron Dwarf, make the Drake take some pain to kill off my Warden. Is that worth it? Or is it better just to play out all my mana? I think it's better to do this. This uses up all my mana, and then it puts 2 targets on the board for me to then buff with the Abusive Sergeant and the Dark Iron Dwarf. Like, for example, I could, like, super buff this guy if he lives, and then kill the Twilight Drake that way. Okay, that kind of throws a wrench in my plans. Blessing of Wisdom on the Drake. I don't think there's any way that I can kill that this turn. Unless I, like, flip a totem and draw my Kobold Dreamancer or something crazy. Okay, let's think. So, I really do want to kill this because it's pretty massive card advantage for him. So here's what I could do. I could use the Abusive Sergeant, buff this, run in for 6, tragically. I could do the Abusive Sergeant and the Dark Iron Dwarf. That will be enough. This will deal 6 damage. Not enough. It's just not quite enough. Okay, wait. Change of plans. Silverhand Knight plus Lightning Bolt kills this elegantly, shall we say. Then I have 5 mana to work with, and with 5 mana, I can super buff this guy and take out the Drake. That, I think, is the right decision. I could also, I guess, super buff this guy, kill this in one swoop, use the Squire and a Lightning Bolt to kill that off. It's actually pretty much all the same, so we're just gonna do this. Yeah, I think it ends up all being the same. I could also use a Wolf Rider plus the Squire, but I like putting more creatures on the board. So this Abusive Sergeant is pretty good. Alright, I'm Resilient to Consecration. The card I really don't want to see at all here is True Silver Champion. Now I just basically slowly but let him kill both of these creatures off, and they're my biggest damage potential. Obviously, the only other thing I don't want to see is, like, insert generic large card here. If it's a bunch of small cards, that would be great. Because I got the Axe, I got the Wolf Rider, I can take care of business pretty easily. Damn it! Even with the Axe, it's not enough. Fuck me. Well, Fire Elemental, that is good. I was going to play the Wind Fury Harpy, but Fire Elemental changes my tune quite a bit. We're going to kill this off before he can get buffed or anything else crazy happens. And so now, I kind of upgraded my 4-3 into a 6-5, which is nice. Hopefully there's no humility effects incoming. And I've got this Wind Fury Harpy, so notice how the game is only going well because, like, I have a scant few endgame cards and I'm actually drawing them. This is the second time somebody actually drops an Ooze the turn before that I was going to play a Stormforged Axe. They choose to protect the Mana Wraith, which is an interesting choice. It does, you know, stop me from killing it with the Axe, which is what I was planning to do. I can, let's see, how much damage have I got here? I've got 6, 8, 12. He goes down to 10 health. I mean, I think I'm just going to ignore his stuff. We'll do this. Because of the Mana Wraith, I can't play the Wind Fury Harpy.
Well met.
I will definitely kill that, though. Let's flip a Totem, because if it's spell damage, Forked Lightning will kill these both off. It's not spell damage. That's also very good, though. Let's play a Wolf Rider. And I'm going to go for the gold, go for the glory. Go for it, connect 4. I mean, he's very low on life here. I don't have any direct damage. So if the risk of my play is that if he does actually take care of everything I have, I will sorely regret not having killed off his creatures. Well, now I definitely regret that I didn't use the Wolf Rider to kill something off. And he does actually get to take care of everything I have. Oh, damn it. I should have definitely... I should have traded the Wolf Rider in for one of these creatures, because then I would have let one of these survive. Ouch. Well, I took a risk, and that might be the end of the arena for me because of it. It's going to clear everything out. This is only 4 damage here. It's not enough. Oh, man. I have used Lightning Bolt and a Wolf Rider and a Fire Elemental, so I don't have too much burn left over. Let's do this, and let's kill that off to reduce the likelihood of him being able to pick off the Harpy. He's still very likely to. All he needs is like a Blessing of Kings or a True Silver Champion. I guess I could have used Forked Lightning instead of this. But I wanted to put this on the board because if he spends his energy killing the Wind Fury Harpy, this is 3 damage, which is, you know, kind of a big deal. But yeah, that Wolf Rider should have definitely been used to kill off the Shattersome Cleric. That, if I lose the game, it will be strictly because of that decision. So the humility effect is really unfortunate here because this obviously makes a difference. Even if it were silenced, I mean, still being able to hit for 4 would have made a huge difference there. All right, Flame Tongue Totem is nice. We'll definitely do it. And I think I need to go for the Throat here. I don't think I can just afford to trade. So this is 3. Hopefully we get a Taunt. Healing is not that relevant. Do I take him down to 2? The problem is you can just kill off my... Let's actually Forked Lightning. Let's see where this lands. So I killed those things off. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll just swing at his face. So I believe I have another Wolf Rider in here. So that's an out. This thing after the Flame Tongue dies only hits for 1 damage, but it only needs to hit 2 more times for that to be the kill. So he only has 2 chances basically to top deck an answer for my 1/5 Wind Fury Harpy. That is not an answer to it, so that's good. I'll just ping him once. I've got enough health that I can survive.
Reporting for duty.
Unfortunately, he can actually kill this next turn, but that's okay. Twilight Drake. Do I actually play that even? Let's see. I will play this, I think. Well, let's see what happens. Assuming he gets no relevant cards. He will kill the Taunt Totem like this, and then this has 5 health, so he either has to send both in to kill it, or he sends the Recruit in to kill the Twilight Drake, but then this can't kill the Windfury Harpy. So I think this is my best chance of winning. Is that I have to hope that he just top decks no disruption, essentially. I have to hope he top decks nothing disruptive, like any buff, no buffs, no removal, no taunt. Which is asking for a lot, I know, but given the state of things, that's my best hope for winning. Plus, later on, I believe I still have... another Wolf Rider. I've used Fire Elemental and Lightning Bolt, but I believe I still have one more Wolf Rider. Crap, he drew an answer. Voodoo Doctor. Ah, damn it. Well, now asking for this to survive attack for 3 turns. I need to draw my Wolf Rider or it's over. I don't think I can even play this Geomancer even here. It's just gonna die. Oh my god, well, I can't, there's a lot that he could have drawn that would have enabled him to not lose. But yeah, I'm really paying for that mistake earlier, not running the Wolf Rider in when I had the chance. Okay, so he's gonna start hitting me very hard because of this Gorobashi Berserker. I wish I had some Rockbiter weapons or something, or more outs in my deck. Yep, one mistake, and one good top deck. Might be the end of my arena life. Earthen Ring Farseer, not going to do it, I'm afraid. I am just going to play this out. It doesn't make any difference anymore. I might as well just have it on the board so there's more stuff that he needs to deal with. Can he win, actually? 8, 16. Oh, he wins this turn, even with the heal. The only chance I have is that he misses that he has the win and kills my creatures, and I have one more time to try to top deck my second Wolf Rider. He saw it. Well, that's going to be it then, folks. So, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the arena, please like and or subscribe. I had bad luck in the draft. I slightly misdrafted it, and I slightly misplayed that last game. And that was the end of the arena. So, let's go ahead and commence Papa Boris's hour of depression and sadness. We'll see what prizes we get here for 4 wins. It's gonna be dust, 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 and more dust. Okay. Let's take a look at our pack. I was very lucky recently. I opened like 2 legendaries within 2 packs of each other, which was kind of awesome. Epic. Force of Nature. I think I'm... Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh my god, I got a legendary, and it's one that I already have. So that's actually... Well, it's kind of like good and bad, I guess. Because it's like a quarter of the way to any legendary that I want, but at the same time, it definitely would have been nice to get a new legendary, and since I only have like 7 out of 34, it's kind of unfortunate that I have 2 of those. So we're going to disenchant the legendary. I guess the Force of Nature is new. I have 2 of them now. So I got my second one of those. Perfect. Okay, so now we can actually make, whoops, let's take a quick look back there. We can actually make 3 legendaries here. So if you count my dust, and the fact that I have 7 legendary cards, I have a total of, let's say, 10 legendary cards. So that means I have 24 more to go before I've got them all. That's the situation. Man, we got a legendary, and it was a repeat. How sad. No daily quest. Let's take a sneak peek at our next arena. It's gonna be Mage, Paladin, or Druid. I'm going to play Druid again. I know I had a recent Druid run, and I apologize, but I want to play more. If you took a look at my stats sheet, like I've underplayed Druid quite a bit, considering how much I do sort of like him now. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play Druid again, with apologies for the repeat. I mean, we've seen a bajillion Mage arenas, so I hope you don't mind that. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Please like and or subscribe if you enjoyed the run, and I'll see you next time. Till then.